All right, welcome back to the Brink of Sanity podcast. I am Jay. This is episode 410. With me is Frank and Peter. Thanks for joining me today, guys. We were talking before the show about horror movies and stuff, and we were talking about how the rating system was chopping up a lot of the movies in the 80s. And you guys were talking about the Friday the 13th, specifically like the sleeping bag scene, where which one was that? Seven?
Uh, Part seven.
Part
Yeah.
seven. So Jason takes a person in a sleeping bag, whacks him against the tree, but apparently it was supposed to be like a long scene, right? Like 5 or 6 whacks, and they made them show only like one.
Yeah. It
Uh,
was one quick swing against a tree. They fell down, and the girl in the sleeping bag was dead.
which would have been a very cool kill if they allowed to show all of those. I would have
Yeah,
thought.
absolutely, absolutely.
So I'm playing this game. Have you ever heard of multiverses? It's
Okay,
No.
what?
it's along the lines of Smash Brothers, but it's owned by WB, and so WB owns like the most random stuff. So you got like the DC characters, Batman and Superman. They have the Looney Tunes. They have Scooby Doo, but then they have like Game of Thrones, and apparently they have the rights to Friday the 13th. So I'm playing this game, and they just added Jason, and he has the sleeping bag as a move. You could like grab Bugs Bunny in a sleeping bag and like smash him back and forth, which
Oh, nice.
I thought was a nice throwback to the movies. So
Wow. All right.
yeah, yeah, cool addition.
I think they actually they rectified that sleeping bag scene
Did they?
in Jason X. When
Oh,
Jason
okay.
goes to space, they put him on the holodeck,
I didn't see that
and
one.
you you're not missing much, but uh, yeah,
It was a D plus at best, but you're gonna watch it if you're a fan.
Mhm.
I mean, that's D plus is generous, I think.
D minus.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah. They trap him in like a holodeck, so he thinks he's on Camp Crystal Lake, and he's on a
I remember
spaceship
that.
somewhere. And he takes a girl and he's just slamming her into the tree, and she's like, "Ow, ow, ow, that hurts!" And he's hitting her like 20 times.
When you say holodeck, you mean like it's like a hologram?
Yeah,
Okay, so he's not just like stupid and he can't tell the difference between a spaceship and a lake.
It was like 20 years
Right.
ago version of the future, so there's like
Okay.
green lines everywhere.
Was there like hoverboards and like flying cars?
Right. Yeah. It's exactly. It's as funny as you think it is.
Okay.
there's actually a line in there at the beginning, because I think it takes place at the very beginning. Jason's hung up, and a girl's like, "Oh, what's on his face?" And they're like, "That's a hockey mask." And she's like, "What's hockey?" And they were like, "That's a sport that was outlawed in 2024." So
Oh, really?
this is the year that hockey gets outlawed
Because
That's
nobody
really
watched
funny.
it,
So
or
because it's so violent or something like that. Yeah, because nobody watched it.
Because it's
The
so
violence was
boring
too much.
somehow, even though it's so violent. I like it for it's fun. Actually, speaking of like getting cut out, Friday the 13th Part 5 has probably one of the best kills that was cut out. So, do you remember the woman, the girl Violet, the chick who was breakdancing and all that with the hair and like black?
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
you remember her? So-
not. I'm not sure. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
seen
fair
those
enough.
movies in a long, long time.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it was funny because she basically was talking about they wanted to have this. The movie came out in the mid '80s, so they wanted to have this girl who like represented the mid '80s,
Mhm.
right? And they're like, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And this girl came along. She's like, well, no, what people in the '80s do is this. And she did this sort of like Madonna breakdance, which if you look at it now, it's hilarious.
Mhm.
It's so dumb, but she got it past them, and the way she was supposed to die was the Jason walked into her room and took a machete and put it between her legs and lifted her up to the ceiling, right?
Mhm.
And because the only reason I know this was because I saw something where she posted something about her time of the month she joked, "It's my time of the month." She had this blood between her legs, right? So she did that, but like it got cut by the MPAA. So basically, what happened was they cut that entirely, and they lifted her up, and then after the fact, they put like a knife into like some kind of a pillow, and they pretended to cut her through the stomach. That's it. That's my story. Interesting enough. There it is.
Yeah, that's a pretty toned down version. It's weird how movies like that got cut, but then we were also talking about like movies like the Serbian film got released uncut. So, yeah, kind of weird like which movies they messed with and which movies they did not.
I can take a lot, but I would need a lot after I saw that film. I don't know.
I don't recommend it. It's
no.
I like really messed up movies. I like Terrifier and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Saw. Love all those movies. This movie, I was just like, I need a shower. I need to do a good deed after watching this movie. It was just, I felt dirty. And so basically the plot is there's this like porn star who's retired, and they want to recruit him.
That never goes well.
To make this one last film.
Okay.
And it's like an underground film, and he has no idea what he's about to do. And basically they drug him, and they give him a drug that makes him want to fuck everything. And he's like hallucinating and just running around fucking, and he fucks like everything. And I'm not even gonna tell you what he fucks, but it's not.
Does it have to? Is it limited to a person?
No, there's things, there's people. At one point, they imply there's a baby.
Can you tell us what the thing is?
It was just like, I mean, the things weren't that gross. I think the baby was,
the baby's worse. Like you said that, and
it's pretty bad.
The baby's the worst thing.
Yeah, like he runs into a room and you hear a baby crying, and then he runs out, and you're like, that probably didn't need that scene.
But they kind of did for that movie. Like, no one needs that.
Mm-mm.
But if you're gonna make that, if you're gonna be the most shocking thing of all time, like I guess if you want to be, if there's a need to be, then I guess that's what you do.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't want it, but I mean, is it a fetish thing or is it a shock thing? What is it? I don't know.
I think it's a shock thing. Like at first, my dad and I are really into gory movies. So
wait, you watch it with your dad?
Yes, I did. So what happened is I was trying to get him.
Oh my God!
A more and more gory movie. Like,
wait, can we stop for a second? You watched a Serbian film with your dad.
Well, I'm telling you how it escalated. So I started.
Hold on, but your dad was there.
My dad was there. Yeah. No, we're right next to each other watching this.
Okay. God.
Yeah. I had no idea. Like, it's not like I'm like, hey, check this out. Like I was. So for every birthday and Christmas, I was. He likes gory movies, so I was like, I'm gonna keep
what movies?
Gory movies.
Okay. Sure.
So I'm like, every occasion I'm gonna get him a movie, and I'm gonna try and top what I got him the last time. So I got him like Ichi the Killer. I got him like Zombie with an Eye. And I'm trying to get more and more gory as we go. And so I'm looking at reviews, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Serbian film is fucked up." So
more and more rapey.
Yeah, I had no idea, and and I got him that and 120 Days of Sodom, and then we're like, "Yeah, this is over. We're not gonna go down this road anymore."
Yeah, where do you go from there? Just snuff films?
I mean, it would have to literally be snuff films.
Kill them on camera?
Killing people. We're really killing people on camera.
Yeah, I'd have to go to like the dark web.
His next birthday and like slice your own throat and film it.
Here's a password to the dark web, and here's some websites to go to.
That movie. Did you guys watch the Human Centipede movies?
I watched the whole trilogy. Yes.
Jesus. Yeah, Human Centipede 2 is where I stopped.
Okay.
And the baby scene where she's trying to get away and gives birth, and the baby goes underneath the gas pedal, and she crushes the baby with the gas pedal. I was like, holy shit. And I actually
As if we
saw
didn't have enough to shock you with, we needed that.
right, like crushes the baby. I'm like, oh God. I was like, wow, I've seen a lot of horror movies. That was fucked up.
The writer's like, I know the guy masturbates with sandpaper while watching the Centipede, but it's just not enough. We need to add something else.
I saw the guy, the little fucked up guy from Human Centipede 2 at one of these horror cons.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I didn't even want his autograph. I didn't want an autograph. Right. I didn't want a picture. I just went up to him and I was like, he looks just as fucking weird as he does in the movie.
Oh, I'm sure that wasn't makeup.
I was like, dude, what the fuck was that? Were you as disturbed as I was? And he was like, it's just a movie. I was like, yeah, all right, man. I'm like, all right, well, see you later. Like, peace out.
Maybe I'm fucked up, but I would play that role. I would do it. I don't care. I think it's, I you know what? It's insane, but I find it hilarious.
I mean,
I don't do. I would do Serbian Tail, but I mean, honestly,
when he stitched everybody together and then he broke out the laxatives,
so fucking crazy.
I laughed so goddamn hard when he brought out the laxatives.
As did I.
Yeah, I mean, he got.
And then he had the nerve to make it black and white, like he's making art.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
Yeah, who was that? Tom 6.
What is this, Nosferatu? Oh, is Alfred Hitchcock directing this? You fucking cunt.
Yeah, the third one is not good though.
Oh, it's not.
No, they went too over the top, like with his bad acting. They had the guy from the first one.
On what?
The third Human Centipede.
Right, the millipede.
Yeah, but like the guy from the first one is the star of the third one, but they make like the first two are like movies, and the third one's the real one. They try to get like all meta.
Right.
But like the acting is like so bad. It's like really hard to even like sit through.
And what is the director's name? Like, he's so conceited. Like, his name is like
Tom 6.
I think it's Tom 6. I think.
Yeah.
Tom 6, right? He's like Madonna. Like, he has like, his name is not good enough to be his name. He's Tom 6. Okay.
I felt like he was trying to be like Mr. Robot, where it's like, I am so witty, I'm just gonna be obnoxious about it, and like, I felt like Mr. Robot started off good, and then the writer got so full of himself. It was just like, I'm going to make everything a twist. Every episode's going to be a twist, and you're never going to figure it out because I am the greatest writer of all time. And it just seemed like conceited.
Mr. Robot is the one with that. I didn't watch that.
The first season's amazing. You could like watch the first season. And
I think I watched the first 2 of the first season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it goes off the rails. And then the third season, apparently they get the okay to curse, and so they just drop F-bombs every other word when they didn't in the first 2 seasons, so it's like weird.
Okay. Great.
I noticed that with The Expanse too, that sci-fi show. Like season 5, they're finally allowed to say fuck, so like they're like fuck this, fuck that, and I'm like, it's just like weird when you don't do it for the first few seasons.
Turned into a Rob Zombie film.
Enthusiasm ever. Never watched it.
The what?
So I started watching it a couple nights ago.
What are you talking about?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen. Mm-hmm. You guys watched it?
Yeah.
First couple episodes.
Okay, so me too. I watched a couple episodes, and I got to the 4th episode. It was so unbelievably good. He had an obituary for his aunt, and there was a typo, so he's like, "My beloved cunt." And it ends up in the obituary. I'm kind of like watching the show. I'm like, okay, good, fine, it's funny enough. And then all of a sudden, like episode 6, they're like, "My beloved cunt." I was like, okay, I'm in. All right, good, fine.
Yeah,
that's a good endorsement.
Going,
the series just finished, and I really like the ending, the way he wrapped up the series.
Of Curb.
Yeah, it just wrapped up like a month ago.
Yeah, I remember the advertising campaign, the last episode. He's standing on an iceberg. I couldn't quite figure it out. I guess he's like the last of his kind or something. I don't know.
I
But
think that was a red herring. There's no him standing on an iceberg in the episode.
yeah, it's what the advertising did to it. They kind of wanted to like show him as something that I didn't get. Like it hasn't been my show for a while. Like a lot of people love it. I mean, and I finally got into it because I'm like, oh, you know what? Everyone loves it. I know a lot of smart people like it, so I'm gonna get into it. And that's what I'm doing.
It's got good
The
episodes.
Beloved Cunt was phenomenal, so I'm in.
I feel like season 4 was the last like really good season, and then after that, it's like episodes are good, but not like whole seasons.
Oh, all right. You know what? I do respect your opinion more than most, so I have to stop at 4. Okay.
I mean, you know, maybe
Thanks for
watch...
ruining it.
No, I would say watch 5 and see if you feel the same way. Like
I can't.
It went downhill like Game of Thrones.
Maybe not that much, but yeah, that show is just. I can't believe the guy just stopped writing the series. Like, you have the biggest show on the planet, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just not going to finish the story."
Hire a billion people to do it, right? I mean,
yeah, hire a ghostwriter, just get it out there.
Like, yeah, make money. There's people better than you. There's always someone better than you, right? I mean,
yeah,
I think.
You know, the last book came out 13 years ago. He just decided to just
stopped.
He's writing prequels. He's writing like the history of the world, but he's not like finishing the actual main story.
Oh, fuck off, man! Like to do that, right?
Yeah.
You guys watched Storm of the Century or heard of it? Stephen King.
I've heard of it. I
didn't watch it.
Yeah.
It was a like one of my best friends is actually in it randomly. He's like, well, not in it. He's got like a cameo scene at a funeral, but I'm from Maine, right? So it takes place in Maine, and it was a mini series in the late 90s that came out on TV, and you can watch it. I think it's on HBO Max. It's really fucking good. I'd recommend it.
Oh, it's not.
I've heard.
Storm of the Century. It's pretty awesome, actually. Like basically, a storm comes into it's Southwest Harbor, Maine. That's where it's filmed, and like everyone goes kind of nutty, and like the devil. Well, I won't give it away, but like, well, I just did. But a presence comes in and like fucks with everyone. It's good.
Okay. I'm shocked that a Stephen King thing would take place in Maine.
Right. Well, being from Maine, I get wicked fucking horny when they all come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the whole vibe of the Stephen King movies. Just being in Connecticut and New England, and so anything Stephen King, New England vibe, I love.
Well, I am from
Silver
Maine,
Bullet was my thing.
Every Halloween, some cunt always goes to Stephen King's house because it's in Bangor, which is, it's easily accessible in Maine. So,
sure,
people go there and hang out and stand in front of his house. I don't know. I've done it I did it once when I was 18, right? Like, because you have to do it, but like, I don't know.
Seems like a lot of effort to like just stand in front of somebody's house. Like, there it is.
Not near anything. I mean,
right.
You just kind of go there like, ew, a thing.
He must love that. He's like,
it's an awesome house.
Shotgun ready.
He's got gargoyles. and then you masturbate right on his doorstep. It's fine.
Oh, wow.
He loves it. He loves it.
I'm going to be driving past Bangor in a couple weeks, so maybe I'll stop there.
Stop at his house.
Give a jerk off on the old gargoyle.
Where the fuck are you going that you're driving by Bangor?
Weston, Maine, for the East Grand Lake.
Weston, I don't know Weston, man.
It's on the border of New Brunswick.
I
It's
know.
on the
Yeah, right.
right on the Canadian border there. So half the
Yeah.
lake that we're going to be on is in Canada, half of it's in Maine.
Oh, that's like way
Yep.
up there.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. It's
Yep.
a
You're
good
getting to the area
7
where
hours.
like there's just districts. It's like the town names stop and there's just districts.
Yeah, I
Oh,
went
really?
to the Dead
Oh
River.
yeah, after
That was
Bangor, there's no
Yeah.
town. It's like District 48382. I
really,
have a friend from like District 3865. Like there's no
It's like-
town names anymore.
It's like a
just-
cell block.
Right.
they're just like nobody's gonna visit here anyway. Doesn't matter. Like just trees. I mean, I went to the Dead River.
Where are you
and it
from?
was like,
583. Like you care.
then you got to explain the whole thing. You see, nobody gives a shit about Upper Maine, so we didn't name the towns. We don't have towns. It's like
I don't have a mailbox,
Yeah.
but okay.
our town is a 7-Eleven and a laundromat. That's about it. Yeah, I went to the Dead River, and that was like 4 or 5, I think 6 hours north of Boston, and I think Maine just keeps going and going. That was I looked on the map, and that's only like
It fucking goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit the New Hampshire Maine border after 3 or 4 hours, and then it's another 3 or 4 hours up to where we're going. It just keeps going. And if you look on a map, if you want to just keep going north, you go another 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah, Maine is like the fucking black hole. Like Maine is like you get there and there's like 500 hours. Like it just yeah.
You didn't
I
feel
know,
like
I
going
lived
to
for-
a lake like not 8 hours away?
What's that?
Like I'm just asking what's so special about this lake. It's like
Oh,
there wasn't a lake like 2 hours away. Like you got,
There is, but a buddy of mine from work, he convinced me a couple of years ago. He was like, "Hey, let's go on, let's go for a fishing trip up to this lake.
Mhm.
It's great, like smallmouth bass fishing." Da 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 da. Went up there for a couple of years. We have a blast. We just drink bourbon until midnight. Get up, eat, go fishing. Just do it again for like a weekend.
Mhm.
And I came home this time and I was telling my wife, I'm like, it's beautiful up there. They have cottages. They're right on the lake. It's great. There's no TV. There's no nothing.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Oh, I think I'd really like to do that." And I have a 4-year-old son. I'm like, "How's he gonna hold up?" And she's like, "Oh, whatever. He'll ride his bike, go swimming in the lake. Who cares?" I was like, as long as you're cool with me taking the boat out on the lake and going fishing
Mhm.
and coming back and then hanging out with you guys, like let's do it. I'll call them up. I'll get a cottage. We'll go up there. We'll have a little vacation.
All
Kind
right.
of disconnect from the rat race down here.
Yeah.
That I get. I don't like I go I have some friends that I go up to. My parents live on a lake in New Hampshire, right? And I go up for I have 6 of my best friends are all from that area. So once a year we go for like 4 days. We all hang out. And 2 of my friends are super into fishing. Like I don't get it. And it's cool. Like I don't judge it. Like it's the best way to get fish. I mean, honestly, but I don't get the enjoyment of it. Like I did it once. I've done it many times in my life, and I'm just fucking sitting there like there's nothing happening.
Okay.
Is it the enjoyment of waiting, or what is it? Because I tried to ask my friends, and they're like, "Fuck you!" Like, what is it?
This lake. Okay, I should have been a little more specific. This lake has been voted like one of the best smallmouth bass fishing lakes in the country. So you go up there, you pick a cove. It's a 25 square mile lake. So you pick a
fishing
cove.
license?
You have to get a Maine and the Canadian fishing license.
Yeah.
And you just catch fish after fish. I mean, every 5 or 6 casts, you're catching a fish, and you're just
that's actually a lot. I get that. Like
you're
my friends,
hammering away on fish.
Sitting there for like an hour and they get one.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go 8 hours fishing for one fish.
Do you
this
eat
is
them?
like, No, we throw them back. They're just
All right, fair enough.
smallmouth vet, and there are people on the lake because they have lake trout and salmon and everything. But that is kind of like what your friends might be doing. Like those guys fishing for trout and salmon, they just have poles sticking out on the side of their boat, and they're just trolling and going back and forth up and down the lake until something hits, and then they catch it, and they sit
Well, they
there.
like to sit there on a boat and drink and hang out. Like, there's nothing more to it, man. Like, and then they get a fish, and I'm like, oh, all right. So that you got that fish, and they release it. I'm like, what's the point, man? Like, we're all hanging out here playing poker. But they love it. They absolutely fucking love it. Like the entire weekend, half the weekend, they're looking for fish. I'm like, all right.
I find it ironic because I feel the same way as you, Peter, but I'm actually wearing a fishing shirt, even though I don't go fishing or enjoy fishing. But I was given this shirt as a gift, so now I'm wearing it. So.
From who?
My wife. It's those Life is Good shirts, and
oh sure,
they're soft and they're comfortable. But this one says "Have a big day" and it's fishing and like.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable shirt though, so yeah.
There's kind of like a level of gifts you get every year. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, I'm a guy over 40. I like fishing. I wear a tie. It's like you're marginalized.
Yeah.
It's
like socks, awesome.
Oh, I like a beer. I like domestic beer. It's like, and there's nothing else in my personality. Fishing, beer, and golf. That's 100% me and nothing else.
That's like the over 40 white guy stock birthday gifts. It's like
right.
If you get that for somebody in that demographic, more often than not, you're gonna nail it. You're like,
right. It's like I'm like I've given up my personality a long time ago. I just want to cast my net wide. Just like whatever joke is gonna work for most people. Like give me that shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Coffee is great. Wine is great. I'm nothing. All those things are fantastic.
Yeah. Give me something with like office humor and call it a day.
Right. Beer is fantastic. I like beer.
Oh, it's a craft beer. Cool. Thank you.
That's kind of too snooty though. Isn't craft beer a little snooty?
It's a little snooty. It is a little snooty. Yeah.
Actually, we have the debate coming up soon, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Oh, goodness. I think it's on right now.
Yeah, I actually set my DVR. I'm very excited to see which one of these 80-year-olds becomes president.
Right.
Should be comedy gold.
I mean, it's just, this is what we get. Like, this is our choice. Thanks.
It's the best of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly the two best candidates are there.
Carefully vetted over.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't think.
Kind of like the way that I sort of see it. It's sort of like, okay, like the entire country's been dumbed down to, okay, guess what? Daycare. Do you have a kid in daycare? Do you have an older parent in daycare? There's two options. Option one is $85,000 a year. You volunteer 40 hours a week, and you get your kid there at 5 a.m, and you pick them up at midnight. And option two is, hey, we've got an 800,000 square foot compound with an electric fence and one guy with a shotgun. Put your kid in there, right? It's like one of the two. It's like people have to. There's more than that, right? It's everything is dumbed down to two things.
Yeah, they're both like so ridiculously extreme.
Right. It's like take part of one, part of two. Like I kind of like the freedom of dropping my kid off at the pasture, but I don't like the 1 in 800,000 odds watching my kid. I don't know.
Yeah. It's I mean, none of them do anything anyway. They just say what their
Sure.
constituency wants to hear.
Agreed.
One side's like, they want to have like post-birth abortions, and I'm like, no, nobody wants that. And then the other side's like,
Post-birth abortions.
the other one's like, yeah, we want to
I've
ban
been
like
I've been
jerking
looking
off.
into that for Madeline.
Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old, and I'm like, I might miss the mark on that.
Is it too late? As long as you live under my roof, I could still have an abortion.
All right. God damn it.
That would be a good bargaining chip, though. It's like you could clean up your room, or we can go get an abortion. Choice is
Yeah,
yours.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's getting her shit done, man. Like, listen to that girl. But clean your goddamn room up, or things are happening to your life. And I'll stand behind it because I'm pissed.
I mean, if you went through with it, you could film it, give it to Jay. You could show it to his dad.
I have finally topped the Serbian film, Dad.
God, I can't. How did you watch it again? How did you get it? I forget. You told me, I forgot.
I did find it on Amazon.
And you bought it.
I bought it, yeah. It's definitely not
you're on
streaming
a watch
anywhere.
list somewhere.
I know.
I think.
I bought 120 Days of
A
Sodom and
DVD.
Serbian
You bought a
film.
DVD. What year?
When did I buy it?
Yeah, what year did you buy it?
Probably like 2018. Not too long ago.
Okay.
And the 120 Days of Sodom was on Blu-ray.
Do you still have that DVD?
I do. It's at my dad's, and I think he's hid it. He doesn't even want to like look at the cover.
I would like to see the artwork on the cover. Like, what are they advertising? How are they marketing that?
Next time I go home, I'll take a picture of the
I would
cover
like
for
to
you.
see it. It's like, oh, this is what we have to offer.
From what I remember, it's vague. Like, you would not be able to tell what the movie's about. It's just like a dude's face in a house.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Super.
Definitely, like, you look at the box and you're like, I don't even know what this movie's about.
I guess that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. You want that.
Because nothing happens for like 45 minutes. Like,
oh my God, they build up to it. That's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's a real slow burn, like an A24 movie.
My dad and I were looking at each other like, literally nothing's happened. It's been 45 minutes.
Like, I mean, the only people watching that other than you, Jay, are people who have actually, I have no idea who's watching this, because I would watch it as well, but like, who's watching that movie? And it brings me to, like, there's a whole fetish horror porn. Like, that's
well, I think the better
honestly.
question is who is enjoying the movie.
Right. Obviously, that's not you. Like, I'm the same way. Like, I want to throw myself into like crazy horror movies, but like, why was it made? It's not for like people like you or me, like the one-offs who are like intrigued by shock and horror. It's made for,
there's somebody out there who's like, that's my favorite movie. I've seen it 32 times.
Who's seen it like 35 times.
Yeah. Somebody's out there with that. Yeah. I don't want to meet
like,
that person.
I've thought about watching that movie, and I'll probably watch it once.
Yeah, well, you
I
definitely
at some
won't watch it
point.
twice.
I think I have to.
Yeah,
but there's no way it's going to be one that I'm going to be like, yeah, we need to give that a rewatch right here.
No.
That'll be a one and done for sure.
I think so.
It reminds me, there was a Kids in the Hall skit where the guy was obsessed with that one scene in Deliverance, and he just kept rewinding it, and you just hear, I'm going to make you squeal like a pig. And he just kept rewinding it, watching that part. People are probably not doing that with Serbian film.
Actually, my favorite Kids in the Hall. Do you guys remember Girl Drink Drunk?
Yes.
It wouldn't survive now, but like the guy all of a sudden he's never drank in his life, and all of a sudden he gets addicted to like girl drinks, which I guess is like,
Mm-hmm.
so like, he goes into a closet. He's like, you hear a blender go off like this. He's fired. He's throwing umbrellas into everything.
They came out with a new season like 2 or 3 years ago. It was really good.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was incredible. I thought it was better than the original.
Yeah. Yeah. The Doomsday DJ I thought was like the funniest thing ever.
The what?
The Doomsday DJ. So it's like
yeah.
There was like an apocalypse, and this guy's got a ham radio, and he's just being a DJ. And he has like one record. He just keeps playing the one record. This is really good.
Yeah, that actually was the funniest.
So I know somebody who's around our age, and he's getting a divorce, and I was thinking, like, at first you might be like, I could date again. That might be interesting. That might be fun. And then I was thinking, like, actually that would probably be the worst thing ever. I use a CPAP. I lost my hair. I don't have a lot of bargaining chips going on. Like, what do you guys say? Like, you do have the advantage of like the apps, right? You can go on, like, you don't have to like troll the bars, or you could use like Tinder or something. But like, I feel like there's a lot more disadvantages. What's your guys' take on that?
I have 2 quick points. Does he have kids?
He has 2. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is he rich?
No. I mean, he's not like poor, but he's not like
super.
Yeah.
So what I would what I would say is getting divorced. They're going to split the time with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. It's probably better that they're apart. If I was him, sit down. He's going to be by himself for like 3 or 4 nights a week. I would not date again. Clearly, I would not
like
go
ever
out and go on dates. There's really no point. I wouldn't go date. What I would do is I would specify 2 nights a week. The money you're going to put aside for a date, don't get a hooker. 1 night a week, get a hooker. You know what? It's fine. You probably find one. I don't know what hookers cost. I have no idea, but get a hooker, do that. You know what? The second night of that week, buy yourself dinner. Go online, master, like, make it nice. You know what? Sit there, buy yourself dinner, get yourself a nice bottle of wine, have it be a masturbation night. The other 5 days, put a fucking blanket over yourself and look out the window and complain. That's what I do.
Andrew said this took an unexpected turn.
Goodness, what are his goals? What are your friends' goals?
I think his goals are to get back out there eventually, but not anytime soon.
Okay.
But like with his,
so don't give him my advice then.
I mean, with his situation, he wasn't eating a lot, so he lost a lot of weight, and so he probably does look better than he did before. Whereas I did the opposite, so for me it would be much harder to date, I would say. I don't even know how to broach the whole like CPAP thing. It's like, well, either like I have to like leave your house after we hook up, or if you come over, I have to have that awkward like, hope you don't mind, I'm just gonna throw this on for the next 6 hours. Like,
right?
No, you have that's perfect.
By the bed.
You don't need it. No, right. Don't even. No outlet. That's perfect. Just hey, I have to go. After you hook up, I'm sorry, my CPAP is at home. I'd rather sleep at home anyway.
Oh, so you do tell him about the CPAP? You're just like, it's not.
I mean, what is she gonna? Is she gonna be perfect? I mean, no, she's gonna be in her 40s too.
Well, that's true.
She's gonna have her own set of issues.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, did this guy, did he have game? Prior to this, was he pulling a lot of girls?
No.
No. Fuck.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Maybe, I mean, just go on Tinder and you ever see those people that they're on Tinder and they just continuously swipe right
Yeah.
until somebody matches with them.
Yeah.
That's what he should do. That's what he should do.
I'm not like. Well, I wasn't wondering advice for him. I was just wondering like how you personally would like deal with that situation, because I don't think it would be well for me. Like, I just think it would be too awkward with the CPAP. I think it would be. I think I would be better on dates because I'm more comfortable like talking and having conversations, and I have more life experiences. On the other hand, I'm less attractive and I use a CPAP, so like, not great.
I mean, it's I think it's one of the situations where I know more now than I did when I was younger.
Hey, sorry, my phone ran out of batteries. I had to plug it in.
No problem.
Absolutely not in peak physical fitness.
Right.
But I know more now than I did then.
Dude, if I had
I feel like it would be all right.
If I had my current mind and I could go back to like college, like forget
it.
Just run.
How would you do with that? I actually thought about that recently. Like, if you had your current mind and you went back to college, do you think you'd do better?
Way a million times better. Like,
I think I would do worse.
Really? I don't think it would be even close.
Honestly, like, when I was young, I was blindly optimistic about what I could do and kind of stupid about it. Like, honestly, like, I said, you know what? I want to go off and I want to design movie posters and I want to move off to Los Angeles and I want to do it. And I live in Maine and like, I'm just going to drive there. Like, I did all this crazy ass shit, man. And like, if I didn't have this weird optimism about myself that like I don't have now, I wouldn't have done shit that I've done.
Oh, we were talking about just hooking up with girls in college. We were being very superficial about this.
In that way, kind of the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
See, to your point, Peter, you had that optimism, but I was crushed so much by my dad growing up. There was no optimism. I'm just the same as I always was, just bitter.
Yeah.
As far as career-wise, I still think it would have been better. I just when I graduated college, I made a pilot for a TV show, and I didn't know what to do with it. Like, I sent it off to one or two agencies. We finished, I think, 6 months before YouTube started, and so like it was pre-YouTube. But knowing what I know now, I would have chopped that pilot episode up into like 8 parts and made a YouTube series when YouTube did come out, and maybe things would have been different. But
But that's kind of more of a technology thing more than a you thing, right?
Well, I heard about YouTube when it first came out, but I was like, whatever, like, this sounds stupid. Kind of just like not interested in like learning anything new.
Yeah.
But I think as far as dating, like I didn't even know how to like talk to women, or like in college I was just like better than high school, but not good. Like it's probably like 20 things off the top of my head I could think of where I screwed it up, and it was so easy not to. Like, you would actually have to make an effort to screw it up as bad as I did. So, although I did have one funny one where I was drunk at a house party, and I asked this girl if she wanted to come back and watch cartoons, and she said yes. And we went back and I put on cartoons, And I thought she thought we were gonna hook up, and I put on Duckman and Freakazoid, and I'm like just laughing my ass off, and she's like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to put your penis in me. We're watching a cartoon.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought you were fun,
I went out on a date with this girl, and we were going to the movies, and we missed the start of the movie, and it was getting late or whatever, and I was like, it's gonna get late. I gotta get back home, and I'm in high school, so we go back to her place, and she's like, "Oh, do you want to come inside?" I was like, "No, it's getting late,
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "No, do you want to come inside and check out my room?" And I'm like, No, I'm good. I'm good. It's getting late. I'm just gonna go to bed. And then,
all
I drove.
The same. I don't see a reason to see inside of your room. It's probably similar to mine.
Right.
Drove home, and the next day I was like, "Fuck! What the fuck was I thinking?"
I remember, I've never been to New York City before I was 23, man. So I lived in Maine and all that, and then I went to University of Connecticut, and I moved to New York right after that with some of my friends, and so quarter of my friends are girls, right? So I would hear about things that guys would say to them in bars, and it was so fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. One of the funniest things. But one of my really good friends, I think you met her, Darlene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shay, you might have met her.
I think so, yeah.
So we're sitting in a bar one night, 2 a.m, and this guy we're sitting there drinking and whatnot, right? Hold on.
Some technical difficulties here.
Yeah. And this guy walks up and sits at the bar stool next to her and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And she's like, "Okay." Good. Here he goes, "Why don't you come back to my place and hear what I have to say?"
What?
The two of us looked at each other and laughed so hard I actually pissed my pants. I actually pissed my pants. What is it you have to possibly say? Do you have a political statement that matters at 2 a.m. at a bar? Is that something?
Wow,
that's the only time I pissed my pants in my life. But I did.
A wild one.
Anyhow.
Yeah, I had one where I don't know what happened. I was hanging out with this girl, and we're walking down the street, and we made out, and then she's like, "Do you want to come back to my place?" And I was like, "Are you going to go to bed soon?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Well, if you're going to go to sleep, I guess there's no point in me coming up." And then that was it. I was like, "All right, if you're going to go to sleep, see you later."
Oh God, you put her on the spot, right?
I was halfway home, and I was like, "Dope." God damn it.
And what 19-year-old was like, "Well, no, I really want to fuck you, and I want to be the one to say it."
Yeah. Being young and stupid. So now I would pick up on those cues, but it won't. That situation just would never happen. So, live and learn. What else do we got? I came across an article that says, here's why people are threatening to poo in the Paris River. And I said, okay. I'm in. I want to know why people are going to poo in the Paris River. And so apparently
the Seine? What Paris River?
Yeah, the Seine River. Yeah. So I guess they're getting ready for the Olympics, and they're cleaning up the river, and the people felt like they're not taking care of their needs, and they're just making the river clean for the Olympians. And so they organized an I Shit in the Seine River Day, and they're all planning on shitting in the river at the same time, which I find absolutely amazing.
I don't know. It's fucking. You know what? I think the biggest problem is people are so fucking concerned about shit. Like, you live there, don't shit in a river. Like, you know what?
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll poison my water
For God,
supply.
I think I'm more curious.
super.
I'm more curious as to how they're going to coordinate it. Are they going to take a bunch of laxatives to, 12 midnight? We're all going to shit in the river.
I'm not shitting in front of people.
Is it organized?
I mean, they're trying to
Or is it
organize.
like an empty threat? It seems like an empty threat to me.
They're rallying under the hashtag I shit in the scene on June 23rd. So this is apparently the shit day has already happened.
Oh, it already happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It's like dropping the ball on New Year's, but shit.
except dropping the double. Yeah, I get the cause, but I'm not shitting in front of anybody.
I don't even get the cause.
They're trying to make a point that they should be cleaning up the city for the people who live there and not just the Olympic area.
So why shit in it?
Because the Olympians are going to swim in the Seine River for one of the events, I guess.
Well, clearly they didn't see the Netflix shark movie about that. But
I was about to say the Netflix shark movie, Under Paris.
yeah.
So the mayor said she would swim in the river to prove it was clean enough for the Olympics. And so they're going to be like, "No, you're going to swim in our shit." It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not the best movement I've heard.
No, and it sure, like, do better. I mean, fine.
France has their own Olympians as well, so
right. I mean, it's funny on paper, but I feel like you could do a funnier one in real life because it's not in execution. That's not funny. That's first of all, I think nobody's actually going to do it.
No, you'd be better off. Like, if you're gonna do it, don't do any of that. And the first day of the Olympics, go down to the Seine, and when the cameras start rolling, just sort of like viciously masturbating all over everyone. That's gonna fucking end it.
That'll do it right there.
I'm not familiar with the Seine River. Is there a bridge over it?
Many, I'm sure.
Because it would be funny if they all like lined up on the bridge and shit on the Olympians as they're swimming past. That would be funny. I could get behind that.
Yeah.
You don't think that'll be funny? They're having a race and people are just shitting on them.
I think it'd be pretty good. I think it would end up on the dark web as some sort of like crazy sexual fantasy or something. I mean, I think. I don't know.
Two Frenchies.
I guess it won't work well for the Olympics.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if they're filming the Olympics live, that could be pretty funny. They're trying to pass it off as something else. So, like, I think there's something in the water, and they're like trying not to say shit. I mean, I think that would be really funny.
Someone just took a dump on someone's face as they're swimming by. I guess that's good.
I mean, you don't think that would be like
that's
one of the
good television?
Yeah, I think that would be absolutely hysterical.
I don't disagree. I would definitely watch that.
That's must see TV.
That would be great if it was spontaneous. If you're just watching it and it just happens.
It's like a flash mob.
That would be funny. Yeah.
A shitting flash mob.
Yeah. You're watching the finish line, and all of a sudden there's shit everywhere.
It brings a new definition to finish line.
Do flash mobs still happen? Remember flash mobs were all the rage? Do they still happen?
I haven't seen.
What is behind your head? Is that Halloween 4?
3.
3. Okay.
Which one?
Yeah, I recognize
here?
That map.
This one here?
Hold on. No, behind you. Keep going. There, yes.
Yeah, my cat. Right here.
Cat's go. Is that 4? Yes.
That's just a poster somebody designed. Uh, just a Halloween news article from the first Halloween.
Oh, it looks like the mask from 4 to me.
Yeah, it looks like the mask from 2, but
Well, maybe.
You guys are
It is for
hardcore
the-
that you could look at a grainy Halloween poster on the wall and pick out what movie that photo was from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the
hardcore.
mask
I'm gonna
is
stick to
2.
4.
No, I think 2 for sure. But it is meant to be
I
Halloween.
bet my life on 4.
Holy shit! Really hardcore now. But it is
Imagine
for
if
the
I got a razor
first.
blade off and really fucking finished it off.
What I haven't put up
4.
though. Holy shit!
Carve 4 into your chest.
What I haven't put up, I have a Halloween laser disc, the Criterion Collection. I got it signed by the girl that played Annie and Nick Castle. What's that?
In the original?
Yeah, from the original. Yeah, the original Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
They went to a
That's
horror con in Connecticut. I had him autograph the cover of the laser disc, but I have to get it framed and throw it up on the wall. It's pretty cool. And actually, got some other autographs over here too.
Right behind you.
Yeah, if they
You're a John
live.
Carpenter fan.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually getting the They Live Alien put on my arm here. Finish my horror sleeve that I've got going on here.
What's on the sleeve?
So far we got Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
We have the Halloween cover, kind of glared out there.
All time.
Jason, other Jason on the back. You see his face all fucked up over there.
That's awesome.
How do you feel about the Halloween remakes versus the originals?
Like Rob Zombie? Or are we talking
No.
about like the 2018?
That's another time, but the 2018.
Not a big fan. Not a huge fan. 2018 was okay. Halloween Kills. There were like Halloween Kills. There was no point. Oh, what was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting a little choppy, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, oh. All right. Better?
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind the remakes. The Rob Zombie ones, I rewatched them recently and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that Michael Myers has a fucking mullet, dude, because you're into hard rock. I mean,
I watched
that
Rob
doesn't make
Zombie.
sense to me, but
I watched a Rob Zombie film last weekend. 32.
which one? What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought the main bad guy was awesome. I thought he was a really good actor. And then the little midget Hitler guy was hilarious. I thought there was some cool characters in it. I thought overall it was all right, but I thought some of the characters in it were really good.
That kind of describes a Rob Zombie movie. You're like, okay, get what you're doing. You're going for it. A couple scenes will hit, but overall,
He always has a couple characters that just look awesome. Like the clown.
And his wife is always in it. Shuri Moon Zombie, who's a terrible actress, but whatever.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, she's not good.
I mean, she was okay in 32, but like,
yeah, she's hot enough.
Yeah,
I'm kind of with you, Peter, on the Halloween movies. I rewatched both of them maybe like a year or two ago, and up to that point,
Which ones?
the Rob Zombie ones,
Yeah.
I rewatched them a year or two ago, and I had hated the second one. And then I watched it again, and I was like, I don't think I hate this movie that much. I
Me
was like,
too.
I think I'm kind of apologetic to this movie. It had some
I wouldn't
good
go that
actors in
far,
it.
but
I was like, I understand what he was doing because it was his version of Halloween. I mean, what's the point of making a Halloween movie if you're going to remake it and just make Halloween again? Like, why even do it if you're not going to change anything about it? So to me, I'm like, all right, I get it. It's his vision. It's maybe it's not everybody's thing, but I like the way he films. I like his direction. I hate his writing.
what was his
Um,
vision? What would you say his vision was? Because I think, like, why? To me,
like,
he
what do
just
you?
put like a rock star mullet twist on it, and like he's he put a grunge factor on everything, and it was kind of gritty. And I thought two was better than one, of his thing, but I didn't overall like. I didn't. It was when I saw it the first time, I hated it. When I saw it the second time, I was like, "There's some integrity here to something that I don't like or don't care about." But like, you're not an idiot. You're making a movie, but uh, like, what did you like about it? Better the second time.
The first one was kind of even.
In 2007, like the original,
Yeah, the original one, I was good with it. I watched it again, I was still good with it. The second one, I didn't like it all. The first time I saw it in theaters, and rewatched it, and I started picking up on other characters like Octavia Spencer was in it.
yeah.
Um,
Who played the nurse, like the nurse that was bled out in the first one?
right,
Which I
right.
thought that was I thought that was clever because that was at least clever death in Halloween 2, and they tried to mimic that in that Halloween.
Right, and then if you guys had seen Sons of Anarchy, did you watch that show?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
not all
The
of it, but I
sheriff,
liked it.
the sheriff from that show was in Halloween 2, so he had like pretty good actors in there. It was
Yeah, no
interesting
doubt.
how the second Rob Zombie Halloween, the first part was a dream sequence, but it gave you that hospital scene from Halloween 2, the original Halloween
Yeah,
2, and he kind of gave you something that you wanted. And at the time, I hated that it was a dream sequence. But after watching it again, I was like, okay, he did that to give the fans of the original something that they wanted, and then they just kind of told his own story with Michael Myers roaming around. He didn't have the mask on. He spoke. Laurie Strode. He was kind of telling her story as like having like PTSD and maybe some survivor's guilt. Um, little things. It just wasn't a rehash of Halloween 2, which I just
yeah,
appreciate him trying to go in a different direction. Because really, after the original Halloween 2 and maybe 4, uh, you know, they just start getting bad. I mean,
Did you like 3 at all? Season of the Witch?
I love 3. That's one of my favorites.
Oh fuck! I had to rewatch it because I didn't like it, and so many people are telling me now they like it.
Yeah, got the silver shamrock masks
Yeah,
on this poster right there. I
might rewatch it tonight, actually, because I need to see it again.
Yeah, I love Halloween 3.
Who's in it? Who's the big star in it?
Tom Atkins.
Yeah, right.
Tom Atkins from shit. What was that movie?
I mean, I know Tom Atkins, but
I don't know Tom
damn it.
Atkins.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, whatever.
yeah. So I think we're just about out of time. Anything else you guys want to talk about real quick before we wrap up?
And another thing about Halloween 3. No.
What?
No.
Other than the Serbian film, another movie that I watched that I just sat there afterwards and I felt dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you watched. I haven't seen Serbian film, but a movie that I felt dirty after watching was Kids.
Yeah.
And it's not even a horror film. I watched that movie and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
No, Kids.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That director made.
I don't think you can find that movie anymore.
That director made another movie, Gummo, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Really?
Who's the director?
Yeah.
And I forget.
I don't know the director. I just know he made Gummo, and I'm like, oh, this is worse than Kids. Good job. I didn't.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
really?
is
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He's directed like 20 movies since then.
Oh, really?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh. Like legit movies, or are they all just weird? Like, how do you come out of Kids and Gummo and then turn into like a legit director?
Hold on a second. Where's my fucking phone, man? Like, I actually think I did a poster for one of his movies. Hold on.
Really?
Yes, I think so. He made movies for the next 20 years.
Larry Clark?
No. Kevin, you're thinking of Kevin Smith. I don't know. My phone's not
Kevin
on.
Smith.
It's not Kevin Smith, but I can't think of it right now.
It says Larry Clark is the director of Kids.
Oh, Larry Clark is? Are you on IMDb? What else did he do?
Bully.
Yep.
Bunch of shit I never heard of. Marfa Girl, Teenage Caveman, The Smell of Us. So he didn't do Gummo. Who the hell did Gummo?
Kids? Are you sure he was not the director of Kids? I thought was a more famous director.
Gummo was Harmony Korine. I don't know. Gummo.
Oh yeah, Harmony Korine. Yes, he did. Yes.
Okay, so he did Gummo.
Yes, and he's gone on to do. He did that movie with James Franco recently.
Oh, it said he did do Kids.
Spring
okay.
Breakers.
Well, Wikipedia was off. Yeah, he did Kids, Gummo, Trash Humpers,
Heaven.
Julian Donkey Boy. I mean, it sounds like just great movies. Mr. Lonely.
Sure.
The Beach Bum, Aggro Drift. I haven't heard of any of these.
No, neither have I.
Okay, so he did just make weird, messed up movies. Okay, never mind.
But the guy who did Kids is different than the guy who did Kids.
The first guy I said did Kids. So the guy who did Gummo wrote Kids, but didn't direct it.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
And that's a Harmony guy wrote and directed Gummo.
Righto.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to email us, thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. We're Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter, patreon.com/thebrinkofsanity, and youtube.com/@brinkofsanity. And we will be back soon. Thanks for joining, guys. It was fun.
Indeed. Bye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. Go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Everybody.
All right. We did it.
Nice.
I'm going to shut the live room. Thank you for listening, everybody.